Hey all, welcome back to Sunshine in the City. Hey, welcome. Hey, here we are. Well, today we're going to discuss Mr. Greg, and we call him Joesph Gregory Hallett. And he's my nemesis. My original vlogs were about Greg. My first trending vlog was, hey, who is this guy? King John of England. It comes on the panel. Hey everyone, it's King John of England. Celebrate. Hey, 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 hey. King John's here, everyone. And the panel. Who are you, Greg? Tell us about yourself. I'm the Antichrist with the letter E from Sesame Street. Wow. What did you just say? Antichrist? Well, you know, anti doesn't mean what it's meant to mean. It's got this special meaning that I've got this little book and it said actually means the true Christ. But didn't Jesus Christ... Oh, yeah, but I'm the second one. We've had Jesus, now I'm going to be the second one. Okay, Greg, no worries. Well, Greg, what's happening? Well, we've done this documentary. Oh, good, Greg. Well, what's happening in the documentary, Greg? Oh, well, you know, we saw this cave, directed the boys, Charles Ward and whoever else was in the documentary, off to the cave for Greg. Wow. I don't know why you are backing up Charles Ward and the documentary guy, whoever you are. Why are you backing up this guy? He's a con man of the West. He's from New Zealand, lives between Bethlehem, a suburb of Tauranga, and Mount Maunganui, the Mount, calls it the Mount, you know. And Bethlehem is a rich suburb of New Zealand. He says he's going to be Jesus Christ coming on the long white cloud of New Zealand, which is actually a South Island thing. And he's not a South Island. He's the fish that Maui fished up. When they fished up New Zealand, they fished up the North Island. And Joesph Gregory Hallett's from the North Island. But here he is now. He's in England. He's going to wait for, you know, these corrupt royalty, because we got Prince Charles and the Queen and Prince Philip. Prince Philip's been known to fund the eugenics. There was a victim that came online that said he was one of the sponsors of her going underground. Whether or not it's true, I don't know. But, you know, the royalty have got all these links to what people are saying. I don't know what's true, what's not true from a victim. But we know through royalty that they were German ancestry. They probably, with the line, they're intermarrying from different places, bringing them in. The Romans came in. They wanted to muddle it up a bit. So we had the Scottish line and we had the English line. And in the 1700s, they put the two lines together and made one big line. Greg's fishing line is from the English line, 1600s. Mine is from the Scottish line, although I'm one of millions of people that go through Queen Mary the Scots. But Greg is special. Greg has an older brother, but in the selection process, his older brother would normally be selected, but Greg is a special, joined a cult, doesn't know much about God, but that's not a problem, Greg. We can do this for you, and there's a lot of Christians backing him up. They don't understand what a Freemason is. There is interpretation of what Greg's talking about, Revelation stuff, but he doesn't understand the Bible. He thinks that Jesus and Mary Magdalene had kids, that they had children, because Jesus helped Mary Magdalene. She was a worker who worked among the men and did, how do I say it, massage work. kind of, with men in Jewish times. This was in the year 0, right? Year 0 to year 33, because Jesus lived to the age of 33. He bathed the feet. I think he started his pilgrimage with his 12 disciples from the year when he was 30 to the year 33 of when he died on the cross. Then he rose up 3 days later, as we know, which is Easter, which we celebrate in Easter. Well, according to Greg, Jesus had children. Now we know that Jesus had a pure line from Shem all the way down to Jesus. Was a pure line through the mother. The father was God himself, because Mary was a virgin. Not Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of Jesus. So when he was doing his stuff, changing wine into water, that kind of thing, miracles on a lower scale, not always doing miracles, he's quite humble a lot of the time. He never let on who he was. I mean, the Father saw him teaching people, and he couldn't understand it because he'd been, dad is dad to, and he can't understand how his son can be teaching these leaders in the church, and they were amazed at what Jesus knew. And so Jesus was pretty amazing. Now, according to Greg, Jesus had some sort of relation with Mary Magdalene because she was this worker in a massage type house with men going in, kind of thing. You get what I'm getting at. And they thought that because he'd forgiven her and washed her, she washed his feet or something like that, and he'd washed her feet, or I can't remember which way around it went. And they're saying that he had a special relationship because of this washing of feet, which is kind of the thing you do when someone comes in from the street. You wash their feet from their long journey. And that was kind of a sort of a ritual thing that they did. And welcoming, also when you welcome strangers, you give them a drink, that kind of thing, and wash their feet from their travels. Well, he was out in his pilgrimage like thing and walking around and didn't have a place, and they had Judas holding the 30s, not holding the 30 silver coins, but holding the bag of money, being the collector of their money and budgeting out what they were doing. And so you always have to have a budgeter. And so Joesph Gregory Hallett is saying, well, Jesus is my ancestor, which is abhorrent. And then he's talking about grails and Antichrist, and he's the real king of England as well. And his mum got online. Did anyone see his mum? Mum and his 2 sisters got online and said, Greg has no royal blood in him. Greg is amazing. He's really, really good to listen to. He's kind of like listening to a car salesman. He is so manipulative with his well, I'm not doing that word very well, but he like a car salesman, very smooth talker, and able to talk you into thinking his way. So it's pretty amazing what he's doing. He's pretty interesting. He's right out there. He's pretty amazing. So, Greg, what do we say about him? Well, his claim's not true. As we said, the long white cloud. He talks tarot cards and signs, that kind of thing, that he's the right sign. But we're taught that the watchers had came down, and there was the lead watcher, and one of his jobs was to teach star signs, that kind of thing. So, as someone said, many antichrists in the end time, there's going to be many false prophets, that kind of thing. To be careful in end times. And some people are saying that they're true prophets of God, that kind of thing, and that what I'm saying is wrong, and I'm being attacked for being the bad person. That my relationship with God, which is not the best. I mean, it's not the best always. I mean, I love God and represent God. I would never deny him. I'm not going to be hearing the rooster 3 times and that kind of thing. So I'm not going to deny him, and God is everything in real life. So Joesph Gregory Hallett, to me, could be a contender for Antichrist. I don't know how he did it. YouTube shut down Joesph Gregory Hallett, and then they opened it up again, because I think there was a push from certain people who were believers in Joesph Gregory. It's kind of like a prophet going out there, like a false cult. He admitted he's in a cult. He admitted that he joined cults. His mum has admitted that he's been in cults. I'm thinking Freemason. So it's very, very Freemason how he's thinking and the people he interacts with. And so that's what I'm thinking. It's a Freemasons is how he's getting so much support from Charles Ward, and he's getting support from the documentary guy, and I don't even know who he is. Hasn't identified himself as a human. He's just identified himself like I have, Sunshine in the City show. But thank you all for subscribing to my channel. Hopefully we don't hear any more from this Gregory Hallett character, but he's coming out with these documentaries. They've got PayPal. He's hurt a lot of people in PayPal. A lot of people got their money back, and we thought this thing had ended, but it's still carrying on. For some reason, YouTube has brought this thing back in, and it's back. So I don't know how we combat it, but definitely people are fooled by this guy. He's not the Antichrist. It's like he's the Antichrist with the letter E from Sesame Street. Remember that video I did? Well, you know, it's not trending. Nothing's trending. The only thing that trends, if you say, Gregory is true, you know, it's true, Gregory. He's the King of England, King John. How the heck did he get called King John? Says Jesus, John. He's all sorts of things. So you can call Greg whatever you want. Greg John of England is going to come. Buckingham Palace, you know, because they'd vacated Buckingham Palace, the Queen. She'd vacated it. The royal crest of the gate was off, and you know, that's Gregory's crest is going to go on that side of the gate. No, it wasn't a car crash. And then she'd vacated it because of the coronavirus and the riots and the craziness. Said no, she's vacated it because Greg's going to take the Buckingham Palace. And then Greg helped Trump get the what did Greg help Trump do? He helped him get the Federal Reserve off the Rothschilds and off the Vatican, because it was in the Vatican, something to do with the Vatican, and the Vatican vaults are full, and they've given Trump the Federal Reserve back, and this is where this money's coming from, is the vaults, the Vatican vaults. I have no idea. The Vatican had so much money for starters. We've got Pope. The Pope has been ignoring China, been ignoring the Chinese imprisoning the Muslims and the Christians, and the organ donating going on. Then you've got the children who've got like mind reading headbands on, like computer headbands. I'll put that in the link at the beginning and the end for my video. And it's just strange. We live in this cyborg philosophy right now, and Greg is the patriot that's fighting this, the truther, conspiracy theorist, who's going to be the Antichrist now, because the world is so evil. We need Greg right now. We need Greg, the prophet Greg. We need Greg, the Antichrist. We need Greg. Well, they call him the Antichrist, you know, and you know, the devil will come. The devil will be a deceiver and deceive us. So definitely Greg is deceiving us with this Antichrist, the letter E from Sesame Street. There's definitely a lot of deception going on here, everyone. So I don't know what we do, if we're just going to keep letting him do his YouTube, letting these guys, Charles Ward and this other guy doing the documentary, to carry on with the little fantasy of Greg being the King of England. Because it's just getting beyond a joke. But all hail. Ha 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 ha! It's Greg of the ha ha ha! Yay, Greg! Greg!